how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Fearless Gear Reviews. This is my independently funded show where I go and make the purchase so you don't have to. Now, this one's kind of exciting. I'm really looking forward to trying this one out. I've got in this, no, unfortunately not an ESP. I've got an LTD Arrow 1000 or something like that. I saw these on display at the NAMM show. I thought, wow, that's fucking cool. I would love to put one of these on the show. I mean, I did the Epiphone V review there a couple weeks back, and this was a fantastic guitar. And the LTDs, kind of in the same price range. This one's a little bit more money, but it also has a Floyd Rose and some EMGs, which is definitely kind of my speed. At least the EMGs are. I used to love Floyds back in the 80s, but I grew to hate them as I owned a studio because you just spend so much time getting them set up because your clients can never bring in a fucking guitar set up properly for the tuning that they're using in their strings. Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, hours later. This is why when you run a studio recording local metal bands, you always charge by the fucking hour. Because you're going to spend hours and hours and hours setting up the guitars for the dum-dums who couldn't do it ahead of time. Anyway, where's my knife? Now, you guys know how much I love messing with the guitars once I pull them out of the box and get them set up to play correctly. Hopefully, ESP will be a little bit different than what I've been getting lately, and this guitar will be set up to play right out of the box. Again, I'm going to have to check how the Floyd's set and the intonation and all that stuff. Oh boy, really looking forward to that. But in the meantime, let's pull it out of the box here and see what we get. I'm dying to pull this out of the box. Spent the last 2 days in the studio editing and stuff. Okay, do not use blades to open. Good idea. Let's not scratch the guitar up. Okay, this is a good sign right here. If we can check out here. This is foam, not cardboard, so it's much better protected. And ooh, we get a Grover sign. Oh, finest machine heads. But it's got a Floyd, so I doubt it's got locking tuners. I haven't seen that. I'm sure it's got the actual locking nut instead. All right, let's see what you get. Now I got this in this purple color. What the hell it was called? Metallic something on it. Let's see how it looks. I like the look of that headstock already. I'm looking on the monitor over there. I was like, ooh, that's pretty. Check that out. Now this. Ooh, wow. That is a serious metal machine right there. Look at that. Ooh, this is nasty looking. That is sweet. Look at that. I don't know, that tooth. I don't know, the cut there. That is really cool. It's got this wild metallic purple look. Magenta, isn't it? I don't know what the fuck this is called. I'll have to look it up again. Let's see if it's in tune. Pretty close, pretty close. Floyd looks to be at least set properly. Wow, this is really cool. If you turn it in the light, it's pink, it's purple, it's blue. It does all kinds of things in the light. That's really fucking neat. So yeah, we got 24 frets here and designed by ESP. Made in Korea. Okay, now that's the thing. I talked to the guys at LTD Guitars at NAMM and I asked them flat out, I mean, like, are your guitars made in the same factory as Spectre? And they said yes. I think it's World Music does a lot of contract work for a lot of different brands. I mean, like, you see that in all kinds of industries. We certainly saw it at Chrysler because on the line there, we did the Volkswagen Routons. We also did the Lancias. And I was responsible for doing the left-hand drive vans where I'd have to chase them down the line and whatnot. That was an interesting couple of years working on those. But I digress. This is absolutely sick looking. Just a quick inspection of the finish. Oh, we got some nastiness. Nope, that's just some glue. Yeah, you can see some crud here that just needs to be cleaned off. And yeah, that'll probably come right off some Goo Gone or something like that. We'll see. Other than that, the neck joint is pretty much flawless. I can see a slight indent in the finish, but it certainly hasn't come through in the clear coat or anything like that. So yeah, we're not bad at all. Oh yeah, so the paint job here is called Violet Andromeda, and I gotta say that looks absolutely gorgeous. It does all kinds of weird things depending on how you're looking at it. Once again, we've got the EMG 81 and 85 set right here. There's no pull. There's no tone knob either, which is great because I never use a tone knob. Action doesn't feel too bad right out of the box. Probably just needs, you know, maybe a bit of a fine tuning and should be good to go. Feels pretty good between the 1st and the 12th. I'm thinking the action can come down just a notch over the 12th. And with the Floyd, that's really simple. All you need is one slight adjustment right here with an Allen key and you should be good to go. All right, that's my initial impression on this thing. Let's plug it in and see what it can do. Wow, is this thing ever amazing? I've had this guitar out of the box for the last few days and I am in love. Oh man, wow, this might be the absolute best guitar I have played since my 89 Washburn 29 fret that I've still got down in the basement and I pull out once in a while. This thing is just freaking next level. I'm completely blown away. I love the neck shape. It's very comfortable to play. I love the easy access to the upper frets here. There's no problem whatsoever. And I absolutely love how the body is cut out here for sitting. Look at this. This just sits right on your leg. Now, granted, I mean, I don't think they cut this out for somebody with legs quite as fat as mine, so it is kind of digging in ever so slightly, but it's nothing I can't get used to or nothing that couldn't be fixed by running a couple thousand laps. I mean, let's be honest here. As far as V's go in sitting position, yeah, this just takes the cake. This is so much more comfortable than the Gibson or the Epiphone that I just reviewed recently. And honestly, I gotta say it trounces both of them in terms of just how the neck feels and the overall playability. Yeah, LTD, you guys knocked it out of the park with this. I can't believe this is your quote unquote affordable brand. I mean, like, it's the ESP guitar company from Los Angeles. I mean, like, they're absolute legends when it comes to metal guitars with good reason. Now, this thing, you guys know how big of a fan I am of the Spectre stuff. My C1 Hellraiser that I bought back in 2007 is the guitar that has got the most use out of anything in my studio on Clance Records, just because it's rock solid tuning stability and playability and overall just reliability. In the studio, you don't have to sit there and retune it 10,000 times like you would a much more expensive Gibson. And this is no exception. The tuning stability on this thing is absolutely fucking rock solid. Let me show you what I mean. Yeah, check that out. Yeah, that's just super rock solid. The only thing I'm going to run into an issue with, because it's got a Floyd Rose system, is if I want to drop D this thing, doesn't quite get that low, so it looks like I'm gonna have to break out the tools and open up the lock nut and get that figured out. So not only is this thing an absolute shred monster, but it's also just amazing for tight rhythm playing. Wow! I am absolutely in love with this guitar. You know, this thing, a bunch of you guys were asking me, hey, you know, what happened to the Mustaine V? What happened to the Mustaine V? Did you send it back? No, I actually sold it. I found a buyer who was willing to put up with the flawed finish because, you know, it said Gibson on the headstock. And I'm like, okay, great. You know, really nice guy. I hope he really enjoys the guitar. Like, the Mustaine V played great. Don't get me wrong. I was just very upset with the finish. This is absolutely flawless. I gotta say, I'm kind of in love with the paint job here. It's like blue, it's purple, it's pink. It does all kinds of weird things in the different light. It's got one of those really cool automotive finishes on it. So, you know, great job on this. I remember a friend of mine back in the 80s, he had a BC Rich Warlock with this kind of paint, and we all thought it was kind of neat because it did really weird things in the sunlight and stuff. I haven't seen this since, so pretty damn cool. Personally though, I don't know, Violet Andromeda, I think Purple Nurple would have been a much better title for the paint job, but that's just me. Yeah. Got to tighten that one up a little bit. That's not quite ready for prime time. But yeah, I got to say, I've been playing this guitar like crazy just because I'm enjoying it so much. Now, that is the thing. I do not regret selling that Mustaine V. In my opinion, this was a far better investment. It was about half the price. It is in flawless condition, and it also comes with a 3-piece maple neck. The neck shape is a thin U. The neck joint it's a neck-through body, so no problems with bolt-ons or any of that crap there. 12-inch radius. The fingerboard is Macassar Ebony, however the hell you pronounce that. It's got the pearl-edged shark fins, and yeah, I can't see any flaws in the inlays at all, unlike the problem Trogley ran into when he got his guitar. It didn't look like the inlays were set correctly, and it was missing a bit of a chunk, which was really disappointing considering the kind of money Gibson was charging for that Mustaine V. I got the shit paint job, he got the crap inlays. I'm like, come on, Gibson, step the fuck up. Sure, if you're gonna charge that much money for a guitar, do the right thing and fucking get it right and inspect it before it gets out of the fucking plant. Otherwise, it's just kind of embarrassing. We got 24 jumbo frets, and the scale is 25.5 inches, which is the exact same scale that the Mustaine V was. That I really liked and I thought played a little bit better than the Epiphone V I had on the show there a little while back. We've of course got a Floyd Rose, and we've got Grover tuners. I mean, like, although the Grovers are kind of a moot point in my opinion because we've got locking tuners or lock nut right here, but it's also got the classic EMG 8185 set, which is perfect for thrash. Now, I know a lot of people kind of look down their noses at EMGs these days, which kind of surprises me because I think they're pretty snarly. I think they're pretty great. They've always sounded good to me. I mean, like, Fishman might have been a good option too. Maybe LTD could make that a user option in the future, but I'm really not complaining about the pickups. Also like the fact there's just one volume knob and a switch. That's it. As a guitar player, I never, ever adjust my tone knobs ever. I think they just kind of get in the way. And even on my Charbonneau custom I had to make a couple years ago, I had dual volume knobs with no tone knobs at all. The volume knob is in a great position here, so you can do swells. Or it swells really badly in my case, but I mean, like, yeah, if you're a volume swell player, it's in a really good space. You can, you know, just anchor your hand on the Floyd and away you go. Now, this is the thing. I've got kind of a love-hate relationship with the Floyd Rose tremolo system because, you know, especially in the studio situation, if somebody comes in that puts on new strings and they get their gauge wrong, then you're going to be spending the next couple hours setting the guitar up again until you can get it stabilized in whatever tuning you've got with that particular gauge. So yeah, Floyds are wonderful once they're set up, but just getting to that point can be a giant fucking pain in the ass. So I don't know, a tremolo no option on this would have been cool, so you can like lock off the Floyd. I thought that would have been great. Of course, that would increase the price of the guitar, and I understand they're trying to balance, you know, price, features, all that kind of stuff. So it's not half bad. I mean, like, I definitely recommend probably adding a tremolo no as an aftermarket thing if you want to use this as a studio instrument. It's just going to save you a whole bunch of grief. I've got one on my Jackson Rhodes V. Unlike my Jackson Rhodes V, this thing you can actually sit with because they didn't put the fucking input or output jack right here. They put it here instead, so it's nice and out of the way. And once again, we got that nice recessed curve, so it actually sits on your leg, and it's amazing. Yeah, I just saw Priest play that not too long ago. I can't believe Halford's like 70 years old and still pulling off Painkiller. Unreal. Apparently they're touring Europe right now this summer. I hope they're having a blast. I don't know if anybody caught that video that they did in Berlin where they went on just them and their amps. No leather, no massive light show, nothing. It's just them and the music. Really fucking cool. Totally wish I could have seen that show. Anyway, that's just me going on into Judas Priest fanboy mode there for a minute. But yeah, I gotta say, as for the guitar, wow. LTD, wow, you guys are really knocked it out of the park with this one. Now, I've got this as well. This is an LTD H1001. Also, a really amazing guitar. I got this back in the summer of 2000 when I was living in LA. And they were nice enough to provide me with this guitar. And I'm still kind of overdue for a full review on this thing. The short version is, yeah, it's fucking killer. It's been sitting in storage for the last couple of years because I came home and I couldn't afford to transport all my stuff home at the same time. So, yeah, that's what that is. Next, a little bit thicker than the V. Still a great guitar, but I gotta give props to the V. It's like the H1000's great. And I remember actually back in 2006, I was doing an album for a band called Black Creek, and they brought in a couple of MH1000s. And I remember being completely blown away by the quality of the instruments and just how well they held their tunings and, you know, the tones we were getting off those guitars. They're absolutely brilliant. And I always wanted to get one, but the local shop that carried LTD went out of business. So I remember going over to Guitar Center in Canton, Michigan, and getting myself a Schecter because it was very, very similar. Turns out they're from the same factory. But yeah, overall, stellar instruments. Like I said, the H1000's great, but this one is just holy fucking next level. Think about Fearless Gear Reviews. This is completely independently funded. LTD did not send me this guitar. I went out and bought it. And this is what I got out of the box. And I'm super impressed because, yeah, there's absolutely no flaws in the finish at all. The guitar needed a slight setup, but not too badly. But it plays absolutely brilliant. So I can say in good conscience, I can give this as a recommendation. You know, for the amount of money, what is it, about $1,500 for these things? It's well worth it in my opinion. This guitar, you know, it's not a $3,000 guitar with flaws in the finish or anything like that. It just feels great. The neck feels great. The frets feel great. It sits great. Everything about this guitar is great. And I can go, yeah, you know what? This was a good purchase. This is a good value for the modern metal player. If you're in the market for a VO, you want something that looks really fucking cool. Yeah, I could highly recommend this as opposed to some other guitars that I've purchased that maybe aren't so good, especially when it comes to fit and finish and just, you know, lack of attention to detail. For mission critical things like that. Once again, Fearless Gear Reviews is independently funded, and that's because you guys make it happen on Monday Mix Reviews. So if you've got a song you're working on, you don't know if your mix is any good or whatnot, you're looking for some feedback, come by Monday mornings or evenings. I'll be more than happy to put it on the show, give it a listen, and all the donations you guys make get put right back into the show. It allows me to do cool things like buy cool guitars like this and extra cameras and that kind of thing. It just helps the show go along that much better. That's the thing, as long as you guys keep sending me songs, I'll keep buying guitars to evaluate and give you guys the real truth about it. And that's the whole point about Fearless Gear Reviews. I make the purchase so you don't have to. LTD, you guys should be really proud of this instrument because I think you guys did a simply fantastic job. I would definitely recommend this over an overpriced Made in America guitar, hands down. No question about that whatsoever. Unless you're getting a custom shop guitar, there is absolutely no reason to spend twice the money for an inferior instrument. LTD fucking killed it on this one. And this is the thing, a lot of the Fearless Gear Review stuff, I'll probably sell and reinvest into the show as well. This one, I think I'm going to keep it because it really is that great. last episode on the Epiphone V, somebody asked if I could play some slower metal riffs. See if anybody recognizes that one. I used to play that every day when I was 16 years old. Totally was in love with that track. But yeah, it's just a killer guitar. I'm so in love with this thing. My arm is killing me because I've been playing it so much lately. I mean, I'm just fucking sitting there working away and I'm like, ooh, I should play with the LTD some more. I should play with the LTD some more. I don't know. Something about this guitar just inspires me to fucking do better. All right, last thing I forgot to do was give this thing the No More Tears test. So let me break out the Allen keys and do a quick retune here. Who knows how long this will take. This is why I love and hate Floyd Rose. Stays in tune, but good luck changing the tuning.
One eternity later.
Okay, so I got it finally retuned here. For some drop D playing, let's check out if it can handle the No More Tears riff. Let's see if I can get that squeal. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. Now, I'll admit, I got some help here from my editor, Jack. Jack, thank you so much. He gave me a little hint, is that when you're doing pinch harmonics, that kind of stuff, you want to have a finger behind the note you are trying to hit. So if you're trying to say hit this here, have your first finger here and you can just nail it every time. Same here, I have a finger behind my third finger here. Now, obviously, this is a skill I need to develop just a little bit more. But it's definitely getting me more of the squeals I am looking for. Again, it just comes down to technique and practice. And that's what I've been doing a lot because this guitar is just so tempting. It just sits there and goes, ooh, play me. And it really plays great. I got to say, this is easily, hands down, one of the best guitars I've had since my 29 fret Washburn from 1989. This has kind of got a bit of the same feel. It's got that slickness to it. The neck just feels great. The frets feel great. Everything about this guitar is just great. I'm a very happy consumer here. I'm so glad I bought this instrument. And so yes, I can wholeheartedly recommend this to you guys out there without any corporate fuckery whatsoever. Nobody paid me to say this. Nobody is giving me any endorsements or whatnot. This is just completely independent. And I think that's what you guys are really looking for when it comes to YouTube guitar reviews, is not some sponsored bullshit, but some actual truth here. And yeah, LTD absolutely killed it here. And I can wholeheartedly recommend this over an American-made Gibson. I think this is a far superior instrument. Can't say it any more clearly than that. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to drop by Monday Metal Mix Reviews. That's how I fund these type of things. If you've got a song, you're not sure about the mixer or whatnot, come on by. We've got a great crowd in there, and we can give you some honest, helpful feedback. Thanks so much for watching the show, and until next time, stay metal, my friends.